So, got some sad news, and believe it or not, I'm pretty heartbroken about it. It's so, as you know, we've been having some problems with Skiddy, the cat, and she passed away. So, I'll tell you what happened here in a minute, but I just wanted to go through. You know, we've had her. It's hard to believe we've had her 3 years. And we're getting to go into the 4th winter with her, I guess. So maybe 4 years. Anyway, it's she's been around a little while, not as long as I would have liked. And you know, the problem with the cat is she was a stray, and it took her a long time to get used to us. And now that she was finally used to us, she really wasn't hanging around with us anymore because she was. The heat really got to her this year. I mean, just bad. Last year and the year before, it wasn't so bad, but this year, it really took a number on her. She had a seizure at one point, and she was drinking tons of water. It just, I don't know. It was just a hard summer for her. And the thing is, it was a more mild summer than normal. So you may remember, she showed up here, and it was kind of cute. The first time I saw her, I was trying to trap a raccoon because we had chickens back then, and I just threw a steak bone or something in the trap, the live trap, and she got in it. Well, the next morning I got up and she's just meowing away, and I let her go. And then I guess the next time I saw her, we cooked outside. We had a shelf on the back, and there was a bucket of lard, just maybe I think a gallon bucket. Maybe a half gallon, I don't know. And she was trying to get the lid off with her teeth. And I had a can of cat food from an old stray that came by when we were first trying to build the tiny house that first year. We still had a can of cat food, so I opened that up and gave it to her, and she stuck around ever since. And she was fairly friendly. She would let you touch her and pet her. And, she would sleep underneath the house during the day when it was really hot. This was the summertime. And then at night, about, you know, just at dusk, Carolyn and I would go out and we'd pet her after I put the chickens away. We'd pet her for a little bit, and she stuck around. Well, as it got colder, the first night it got below freezing. Well, of course, let me back up. We used to try to bring her in the house, but she'd immediately go to the door and start screaming that she wanted back out, so we'd let her out. And then the first day it got below freezing, below 32 degrees. It was like 60 degrees in the house, so it was still chilly in the house, but she was outside all cuddled up on that bench that the lard was on. And I picked her up and took her inside, and immediately she ran to the door and started screaming. And then she realized, it's warm in here. So she ran underneath the bed, and that's where she stayed all day. Well, she got a little bit more friendly, and she got up on the bed, and you know, things just progressed very slowly. And we didn't even have a kitty litter at the time, and she peed in I forget where, somewhere in the house. So we had to go get her kitty litter. Up to that point, we were still letting her out, and she would come back in because it was cold. But, you know, we didn't have anything for a cat. So we were worried that she was going to get pregnant, so we went and got her fixed, took her to the vet, and I think it was going to be like $200. And well, he called us up and says, hey, she doesn't have a uterus. Well, I wasn't really thinking at the time, but when we brought her back home, I realized what the vet was saying is she'd already been spayed. So we paid to get her spayed a second time. And, you know, I looked it up, and the vet should have known better to do that. They should have seen the cut from the first time. So we'll never use that vet again. And then she started getting really friendly. I mean, just really friendly. This last winter, she was probably the most friendly she's ever been. Now, she had been Carolyn's cat for almost the entire time for the first 2 years, but that last year, she started becoming my cat. I was just spoiling her more. And so she started cuddling with me at night, which was very odd. She always slept underneath the bed. And of course, when the wood stove was on, it was pretty hot, so she'd get in her bed, but as it was cooling off, she'd come up and cuddle, and she was licking my arm. I know that's disgusting, but I always used what do you call that? The stuff you pump into the hand sanitizer. That's what I'm looking for. And I'd clean my arm off, but she liked to lick my arm and it comforted her, and she would fall asleep after she was done. And well, as summer progressed, we saw less and less of her, and like I said, she got sick. And one time she had a seizure. She bit her tongue. She was bleeding, but she was starting to recover as the cooler temperatures were starting to arrive. She was getting more active and coming outside again. But the dogs, I've told you about the dogs. The dogs showed up. So I guess it wasn't a big deal. She knew they were out there, but she was still staying inside, trying to recover a little bit, and she was gaining weight again. She lost a lot of weight over the summer. She was gaining weight again, and she came outside frequently. And then the first time she came out, there was a dog on the porch, and no, the brown dog chased her. The cat went over to investigate, and the brown dog chased her. And it wasn't a big chase. It wasn't like a big mean chase. It was just a chase. And she hid under the house the entire day. So at night, about 8 o'clock, I came out here. Carolyn and I came out here. And I had to climb underneath her and get her out. Well, then she came out one other time. The white dog was on the porch. And now there was no confrontation, nothing. The cat saw the dog, decided she wanted to go back in the house. She came back in the house and immediately wanted to go back outside. Immediately. So I opened the door and let her outside. Well, she didn't return. Usually she only stays out for a half hour or so and comes back in. So after daybreak, it was probably 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. I started looking for her, and I found her out in the woods, and she was lost. It was obvious she was lost. She didn't know who I was. And of course, I'm having to climb over the briar patches trying to get to her. And she let me pick her up, which is very unusual. When she's outside, she would kind of dart ahead a little bit. She wouldn't actually let you catch her. But she let me pet her, pick her up, carried her all the way back. I figured this was going to be a night beer trying to get her back up the hill, because she absolutely hated being carried. She didn't like it at all. So got her in the house, and we decided, her sight was probably getting bad and her health was getting bad. So we decided that we were going to just keep her in the house, which we were doing. And it wasn't too terribly bad the first 2 or 3, 4 days that she was in the house. She'd go to the door, she'd want out, I'd pick her up and I'd start petting her for a few seconds. And that seemed to change her mind, like, okay, I don't want to go outside anymore. And one of the things she liked to do, she'd like to wake me up several times a night. I forgot to mention this. Maybe 2 or 3 times, and get fed. And I would, take a bathroom, go to the bathroom, feed the cat, go back to bed. She'd come up and headbutt me. And that would be meaning that I would have to, feed her. Well, when she went outside, I don't know, I don't feel like anything had changed. I'm trying, it's hard to recall when things started going south fast. But Carolyn and I went grocery shopping the other day. Now, I've been telling everybody, I don't think the cat is going to respond well to the dogs. And when she ran off and got lost, that was kind of like my proof that, yeah, she's not going to respond well to these dogs. And so I've been telling everybody on YouTube here that she wasn't going to adjust. I just knew it. I knew it. I Googled, I did research, but I also felt it, that she just was not going to accept these dogs. This was her place. It had been her place for 4 years. And those dogs did not belong here. I could tell. But so many people on YouTube told me, no, she'll adapt. Don't worry. And I kept telling you, it's my responsibility to take care of Skiddy. She was here first. I took on that responsibility. The dogs, I just wanted to get fattened up so we could adopt out. But everybody was so insistent. Just insisted that the cat will adjust. Well, the other day, like Carolyn and I went shopping. We were coming home and we were bringing the groceries in the house. And we typically leave the door open. If the cat gets out, no big deal. But I knew she wasn't going to get out because she was scared of that dog. And if she did, she was going to go back down there in the woods there. So it was no big deal. Well, what I didn't realize is while we're carrying the groceries in, the white dog comes into the house and followed me, and I didn't see it right away. So I'm, it's a small house, so I'm pinned up against my chair. Not pinned, but, I'm in between the door. The dog's in between me and the door, so I can't get to the door. So I'm trying to shoo her back, trying to get her out of the house, and she darts up underneath the bed. Well, guess who's underneath the bed? Skiddy. And Skiddy growls. I mean, just growls. And it almost sounded like a dog. I was pretty sure, I was thinking it might have been the dog that was growling, but it wasn't. It was the cat. And so we got the dog out. I mean, it only lasted like, 10 seconds. It wasn't a big event. But instantly, the cat's behavior changed. And so I was Googling what's going on, and Google said that it is most certain that if a stray dog comes into your house, the cat is going to be really stressed about it. Cats are very territorial, to the point that they will leave their territory if they think it's threatened, and they can't defend it anymore. So it started getting where she was very recluse, very non-responsive, and she every morning want to go out, and I would have to pick her up, put her on the bed, and I would pet her, and like I said before, that's all it would take, and then she would forget about it. But she wasn't forgetting about it now. She'd go to the door, so I would have to pet her and pet her and pet her and pet her, and force her to be petted, and finally she would forget about the door. Well, the very last day, she wouldn't forget about it. She just refused to forget about that door. It took forever, maybe an hour, before she just finally got tired of it and gave up. So, but in between all this, I should say, she had stopped eating and pretty much stopped drinking. What I didn't know, which Carolyn, she always cleaned the kitty litter, so I wasn't really aware of this, she had stopped going bathroom too. I mean, she was still urinating, but not the other. So she, I didn't know that. So, I mean, really, who thinks about that? Okay, so even Carolyn, thought, she's constipated, no big deal. She'll get over it. She's not eating a lot. So we tried everything we could do to get her to eat. On that second to last day, I guess it was, whatever it was, Carolyn started giving her half and half or whatever it was, because it had high cream or high fat content, and it was supposed to help her go to the bathroom. But we weren't having any success in trying to get her to eat. We bought tuna and just different things she liked. Cottage cheese. She loves, that's her favorite snack, cottage cheese. Every night I have some cottage cheese, and her and I would eat cottage cheese. She wouldn't eat it. Just turned her nose to everything. So Google said she would probably get over it. Just let her be, let her get over it. So we were trying to let her be. What we weren't aware of, though, that a cat has to go to the bathroom regularly. If they don't go to the bathroom more than 3 days, if they haven't went to the bathroom in 3 days, it's going to be pretty detrimental to her. And I just wasn't aware of it. Just had no clue that would be a problem. So she passed away, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it, because I was so sure, I was so positive that the dogs were going to be her downfall. I mean, she was already not, she was aging, obviously. Bad eyesight, didn't do well during the summer. So, we just added another thing to her. But apparently cats have very high anxiety if they feel like their territory is threatened. And they will stop eating, and they will start searching out for new territory. Well, we weren't letting her search out for new territory, so she just gave up. And I look at it as like she died from a broken heart. We failed her. I failed her. And I knew I was. I was convinced. But I let things convince me, and I shouldn't have. I'm usually pretty good about not letting people convince me otherwise. But people were telling me she would be okay. And I thought, yeah, a lot of people have dogs and cats. I mean, my ex-wife, she had every pet you could imagine. But this cat just would not adapt. She refused to adapt to it. And as a result, it killed her. It's the best I can figure. I mean, she may have been sick to the point that I just wasn't aware. So, there's a 50-50 chance that she had some serious illness that I'm just not aware of. But, well, what are you going to do? We buried her down there where the chicken coop was, because the dirt is so hard right now because of the drought. And that was still pretty soft because it's mostly manure, so we were able to dig a hole there. And we put her down there. And what are you gonna do? I guess you just, but you know, I've had 3 cats of mine, and all 3 of them I was unable to keep for very long. They were all mine. I had a Siamese cat, a stray, that I picked up one time. And my ex-wife, well, when it was time to move, we got an apartment that would accept pets. Well, my ex-wife decided that I didn't need a pet, so my daughter got a pet, she got a pet. We were only allowed 2 pets, and the cat had to go, so we adopted her out. And that was a good cat. Oh man, that was a really good cat. And then, you know, I replaced her years later, and I know this is going to sound terrible. Sorry about that. Got interrupted by a customer, but you get the gist of what I was saying, that yeah, I made a mistake, and Skiddy had to pay for it. So if you'll click this up next box, take the video over to my other channel, really appreciate it if you go check it out. So I hope I can inspire you to give your heart a little so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.